Hello, hello. What's going on? Everybody, welcome back. Another watch list. I do have some good news. I'm thinking at some point next week we will have a special guest with Stan, the Godfather. He had reached out in Investors Underground to me yesterday, after I was live on here. Um, and I don't know if he saw the live stream or what, but he said to reach out and he would like to join and do a little review session or something like. Wrong button. Wrong button. So, like I was saying, if you guys continue to stick around, something to look forward to next week is Stan will join us and do a little review session. So, without further ado, a couple trades on my end today. Nothing to really shout about. Um, Circle broke down into those two tens, looking left levels. So I joined that trend. Was looking for pops into the 230s and we didn't quite make it, and it got smoked right off the open. So I was looking for pops and it just didn't come. So I just decided to put on some chase size and risk versus VWAP. And once it started to base coming into that 11 a.m. window, I had to take it off. And then my other trade was on EYEN. Was looking for the same setup over here. Held up a little bit better today than expected. Was straight down off the open, which I think was the differentiator. Pulled back right into that breakout level. Got a pop into red to green using over under highs as a guide. I put some on, stopped out, started to thin up. The spread got a bit wide, so I just stopped out. Then we got that parabolic through that looking left high over here, and it immediately stuffed. It just wasn't bouncing, wasn't bouncing, wasn't bouncing. 3 minutes was a long time. So again, put it on. Risk versus the highs, never broke, and then coming into that 11 a.m. window, just had to take it off because I was looking to get off desk. Didn't pull in much further, so kind of a nothing burger day, small green, but who really cares? Stan is the man. You betcha. CoreWeave, steady lows. OST, this looks like it's getting good. Circle. Caramel, this one's starting to come back here. It's starting to curl off those daily levels. Definitely worth keeping an eye. Car, I didn't touch today. It pulled back off the open and never broke its opening range lows. We had a little bit of failed follow through here, but if this was a gap up and did this into like 200, then this kind of setup over here would interest me. But given that it gapped down and went green, I was looking for opening range lows as the trigger, and it never came. So unfortunately, kind of messes with the daily, and you don't get those speed up candles. So not really a watch at this point anymore. I remember looking at Nvidia. Yeah, that thing's still trucking. That one's probably good at some point. You're getting 1, 2, 3 days, starting to extend itself. So I will flip my screen here over to scan, and then we can run through some names, and then VOR is going nuts in after hours. Wow, what a move. I was in the middle of watching Tim Grittani, Matty Owens, and Dom Mastro. They did a little YouTube live this evening. I was watching the replay from my phone, didn't quite get through it all, but I really like listening to Gratani. He's very concise, and he explains his thoughts really well. How do you gauge extension on small cap versus large cap? Small cap, I gauge extension as at least 100% move. Large cap is more of a feel relative to prior price action. I haven't done the deep dive of some people have found some edge in back testing extension from moving averages with large caps. Me personally, I haven't done that dive into it. I think it's going to be a time-consuming one. But yeah, small caps, I look for extension from a 4 exponential moving average and look for at least 100% move without any pullbacks. But large caps is more of a feel. It just starts to extend itself relative to prior price action, something like Circle. And I think it's more of a feel thing. CTOR, that one there was a question on scan yesterday. Looks like it's still holding up. Broke out in pre-market. SY held up. So not a ton there. AVS little pop. That one had some news this morning. Today was one of those days where even after the trades had happened, it whether I traded today or not, it was not a needle mover. And I'm kind of indifferent. Like, I don't think I really needed to place a trade today. The P&L, regardless of the P&L, the trade setups today were not there. I hopped on the Investors Underground broadcast this morning and shared my game plans, and was fairly hesitant and hands off with a lot of the trades that were out there today. And that's fine. Take your foot off the gas when you need to. And so far, these scans are boring. BLNES blue? No, not really. Up from 70 cents to $1.80, but it's been kind of choppy each day. Yeah, not really interested in that one. It's not really any sort of sped up fashion. It's just grinded its way higher. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, with large caps, I'm typically like a 1, 2, and then the third day blow off gets me interested. If you get that 3-day framework, it's usually a good watch. These scans aren't even full. Like, only 30 stocks came up on my gainers list. Faders only got 70 names. It's definitely more of a sell bias, but I'm just not seeing much. Probably NVIDIA into like that Thursday, Friday rule for option unwind. But I think Circle, like, I'd prefer another red day into like 160, 170. And then I could look for a mean revert bounce. But I don't really want to trade it tomorrow necessarily. Snooze fest. Snooze fest. Ooh, weird. Yeah, boring. Hop back to my other screen here. Choppy. We had coin. I remember that one starting to extend. Not really doing much. What did SMCI end up doing? Wow. Breakout, rejected, and right back. What about him? Started that one end up going? Looks like it wants to retest and break that pivot. SRFM midday offering. Took iron short at 10.25 for failed follow through. Figured there would be profit taking after it failed to hold over yesterday's highs. Got stopped out before 10.45 fade. Wasn't sized for hot retest. Shorted at 10.25. Yeah, I don't hate that entry. But yeah, like you say, it was a sizing issue, not a setup issue, where you get that push, pull, lower high, breaks prior low. That's typically like an entry spot for me. Whether you want to save size for a confirmation sub VWAP. Again, I would not be covering this here. It's 10.50, close to 11. I was heading out the door. So I just had to cover it. But I likely still would have held this for quite a while and would have covered, maybe plus or minus the same, but just would have had a reason to cover, not just a random. So ignore that. But yeah, you get that push, parabolic, blowout through prior day's highs, hard crack, lower highs, leaning through prior support. Risk is always versus high a day. So if you stopped out prematurely, you took it off before 10.45. Yeah. So yeah, just sized a bit too big and stopped a bit too tight. Easy fix. Let's see what this VOR is doing, because it's going nuts after ours. So right here, they put out some news. Then they mentioned they had a bunch of warrants at like 20 cents. And then it's still squeezed anyways. So prior close right around 55 cents. It's up at 130 right now, so it'll be up over 100% in the morning. So shorts definitely seem like they're in a bind there. Ideally, it goes higher tomorrow and then can trade it on Friday. Would be much better, but what's going on, guys? Good to see ya. I really thought Circle would pull in more once it broke this big consolidation in the 210s. 210, 215 area was prior support, and it finally broke today. I thought it would really unwind. Could still happen tomorrow, but I won't be looking to short it tomorrow because you're kind of in this limbo of our longs or shorts underwater. Are shorts chasing this down because they missed this big pull on the first red day and now they're shorting it each day looking for the same kind of move? That would be shorts are on the short side. Or are longs thinking this has pulled back too much from 300 to 200, now it's a discount and I need to buy it? And whichever way it breaks will determine which batch of traders are underwater. And as of right now, we don't know. But for a bounce trade, I would much prefer this down into the 160s, 170s. I would not like to bounce it tomorrow. I would be much more inclined to short it for a fade, but I doubt I touch it again tomorrow. First red day, second red day, a third red day is not in my strategy playbook. Check out here. This thing unwound pretty damn good today. And this daily, you got this big line. This looks pretty good for that 41 breakdown. Whole dollar, daily support. That looks really good. Where did my moving averages go? I usually have them on my other chart here, but I must have deleted them for some reason. Bear with me. You guys won't see it anyways, it's just for me personally. One moment. I've got a 10, a 20, a 50, and a 200. Oh, and I need to disable and disable. There we go. So the 50-day is sitting right around that $40, $40.20, and the 200's down at 36. So if we lose 41, I'd want to see it under 40 that day, and then could look for a fade towards the 200. But I'll have to look a bit deeper with these large caps. A lot of times there's a story behind it, so I'll have to look into what Toast is doing. But that daily looks toast. But yeah, I'm not seeing a ton. And typically when I'm looking this hard, it's not a good idea to keep looking. Hard to have good risk reward towards HOD with size under PDT for failed fall through. If your entry is on that support break for me. Interesting how Laptop Legend cuts as soon as it goes against him. Seems like something I'd like to try over PDT one day. Can always get back in. But it is obvious it is gonna at least retest if that support break doesn't hold as a trap. Yeah, I don't have much of a suggestion for under PDT. I've never had to trade under PDT, so I don't have a ton of suggestions. But what I like to do is wait for ads. So you get a push pull. This is now your failed fall through level. Right here. And it wicks under it. I don't hate a starter here, but that level hasn't confirmed. It's not a break under it. It's a pull, and then prior support acts as resistance is how failed fall through works. So I don't hate a starter here, but starter has to have wide risk and let it chop around because you need to give it some room to breathe. And now right here, you're breaking under it and it never gets back over it. So anywhere in here, maybe on this candle, once it flushes, and start to add here, and now use that 1030 over under as a risk. And then you can scale into that winner. So now you've got a 1030 entry, and then you maybe add a 10. So now you've got 30 cents a risk, but you've got house's money because you're 30 cents in the money. Is typically how I trade it, but I don't know if that works for PDT because that's multiple entries. Some brokers I think are multiple entries, one exit, or one entry, multiple exits, and you get back and forth. I'm not sure. Limit yourself to one trade a day. Gotcha. That's all right. It wasn't a it wasn't a home run trade anyway. I think really any trade today I don't think was going to be a needle mover. I didn't see much coming into today. Three entries, one exit, or one entry. Anything else? What's this one doing? Still holding up. I don't really know if I want to trade this thing. It's just got so much overhead. It kind of looks like Tesla, like how that one just broke out, but it got smoked in after hours with, or not after hours, market in regular market hours, it got smoked. But you had this little breakout right here, but you're running right into recent resistance. I just don't really like that, and I think SMCI is doing the same thing, where you've got this nice little flag break. Probably looks decent on the weekly, but you've got this overhead just so close by. Would I consider GNS failed multi-day breakout? I believe that one gapped over. Yeah, that one gapped over the breakout. Broke it by a penny yesterday. I wouldn't really consider this a multi-day breakout just for the sole reason that it gapped through the breakout level, and those fail more times than not. So it's not really a multi-day breakout. Like EYEN is a multi-day breakout where it breaks it during market hours. Was that a good one in my opinion? No, it was straight up through the breakout level, so I didn't really like that one either. But GNS did fail, but stocks that gap through their breakout levels are like on small caps like a 20% win rate, 30% win rate. So I don't think there's really edge in trading those anyways. Tina says you could consider a cash account trading under PDT. So there's a suggestion there. You won't be able to short because you don't have margin, but if you're going long, it might work. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so I will delete EYEN. Caramel, I'll keep that one on watch. Circle, I really want this one to put another red day, so I don't want to trade that one tomorrow either. SMCI, I doubt I'm going to trade it. Yeah, looking at this, throw VOR because it's a massive mover. It'll be up over 100% today, but given how it got there with the news after hours and then trapped a bunch of shorts with the offering headline, then I don't really want to short that either. I'd hope it just runs higher tomorrow. Maybe pulls and trickles into 7 a.m. and that's the trap. Fades into market open or something. It's an eye opener. Good, good. What's my view on Mod V? Yeah, not a bad look. We've got no overhead resistance. Starts to trade volume over here. I'm pretty sure if I look, I've got price alerts set over $4. They just haven't triggered yet. But multi-day breakout is up in the 460s. So we're still a ways away here. Kind of that pivot would be that $4 whole half dollar mark. That if it breaks 4, it could get to 460. What I'd like to see is maybe a breakthrough 4 and then join that with risk on low a day. Maybe it breaks through 4, runs to 460. Maybe I lock a small piece in. It tops out near 460 in the morning. pulls back and consolidates throughout the day, and then re-breaks that in the afternoon. Now you've got an intraday consolidation low to add pyramid into that position, move risk up, keep dollar risk the same, and really add to that winner. Is typically how I like to trade daily charts like this, but it would be in the same boat as like Carmel, where you've got this recent runner, no volume overhead, and it's starting to curl, but the breakout level is still a little bit far away. So worth keeping on watch, but no real immediate plan. Margin is short. Anyone who needs to know right now, cheapest route, I know, get a trade a day short is 2.5k minimum, trade 0 and 5k minimum, Venom by Cobra. E-Trade is the lowest minimum, margin long, and Thinkorswim is 2k min, but Thinkorswim charting is great. So he's saying trade 0 or Venom with Cobra. I've never tried either, so take with that with what you wish. NAS, definitely not something I'd want to trade. No way. One of the other guys had mentioned JAG-X. He was long that one, but it's not doing anything. So yeah, Carmel and Mod V, I'd throw in the same basket. Can keep them on watch if they start to break over those recent daily highs, but no real immediate plans. VOR, I don't really want to long a stock that's up 300%, and I don't really want to short it given how it got there with its news. So I just hope and pray it goes higher and then can trade it on Friday. And so Toast is really the only actionable idea I have for this 41 breakdown. 40 is the 50 moving average, and then if this starts to fail 40 and 41, then I think you get this gap fill into play into 36, 37s. So it's really the only trade idea I have going into tomorrow. So with that, I think I will wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys sticking around, and hope you guys are trading well. I will see some of you in Investors Underground tomorrow. Might hop on the broadcast, we'll see. But for those of you that aren't in there, I'll see you on the next watch list. Take it easy, guys. Peace.